Hey guys, Mad Theories here. Now it's been a long time since we actually did who is the most strongest and most powerful vampire ever. Now we're gonna get to the very most strongest god vampire ever, and that's the sacred ancestor, aka Dracula. Now the thing is, he comes from Vampire Hunter D in the lore itself, and basically he is Vampire Hunter D's father, who he created 10,000 years ago with him and his brother and many other vampire and acolytes alike. Now the thing is, he's been doing all of this and still, oh, and by the way, also created like other weapons, dimensions, other stuff in his time. But the thing is, with the sacred ancestor, he's been around for like millions, possibly billions upon years, and he has this thing called the Akashic Records, where it's basically he can rewrite past, present, and future, and can create any and all things in the reality itself and outside of time. And the thing is, with the Akashic Records, he's godlike. He has like omniscience, so that means he has the power to know all and see all. You know, he has that ability. And the thing is, it's like, in that lore and story, it's like nobody who have been able to take this fool down, because only person he claims that can actually harm him is his own son. Now, due to the fact that in the story in other novels is that he did give other people close to these powers, like he did give them like close to like his son's power, even though they never would truly harness the full power, but he did give them like abilities where it came up close. And the problem is, it's like when he was like messing with his son's life, basically everything that happened in Dee's life, you can kind of say the sacred ancestor had like some sort of part to play in, almost like Romulus and Wolverine. Wolverine thought that he didn't have that many people in his life, and things just started to happen for some sort of random reason, and you didn't know what was going on until you finally figured out, well, there was a guy that was kind of like manipulating certain things about your life in the shadows. You just didn't even know about it. Despite how powerful and strong and how your sense of guidance is, there was one person that was able to manipulate everything that was around you. So basically, like I said before, like all of his fights and his adventures, you can say the sacred ancestor had like a part to play in. Now, due to the fact that he was doing like experimentations and stuff like that, the whole point about the story for Vampire Hunter D is like he's traveling from like, you know, different states, you can say countries and stuff like that. And I like to say, like, you know, his purpose is to find, I could say like the sacred ancestor, like that was probably like one of his main goals. But the thing is, he didn't know who he was until he finally saw him, and then for the very first time, it even questioned himself, like, can he actually fight this dude? Can he actually kill him? The question is, it's like he can harm him, but it doesn't mean he can actually kill him. Now, using the Akashic Records, obviously it doesn't have any effect on D. You know, it doesn't really have any effect on him. So it's like if they was to fight, it would be kind of difficult for D for him to actually kill him. I would even say D would probably he could die. He could die if he was to like fight him full on. But again, D's the only person that can actually harm him. So it takes a lot to actually kill the sacred ancestor. It takes a lot, because he did kill like thousands, I think thousands or millions upon vampires who tried to have like an onslaught assault on him, and it didn't even work. Like, this man could flick his cape out and he's destroying mountains, and it's like, what? Like, just with a flick of his cape, and the sucker's going out, and I'm like, Jesus, this dude is insanely powerful. But even on that note, like his you can say like he has like his own little council and stuff, like, you know, his own little sacred council and stuff, like, you know, he had all that. He has his assassins, he has like other technological advancement, he has the Big Bang accelerator, which was said to have can be enough to destroy a universe. So it's like, my boy, how did you even create this? Like, yo, like when you read the story and the lore, you think that, okay, Because that's what I thought. When I first heard and actually seen some stuff about like Vampire Hunter D, I thought this was like a basic story. Like a really basic vampire story. Okay, you have this daywalker who can walk in the sun, and he's doing his own thing. Taking down vampires and saving people. But I didn't know that his father was an OP bastard that could do all types of things, and nobody has been yet to have defeated him, and that he if he goes into his true form, only he allows what can happen. It can fight on all planes of dimensions, and he can exist all at once in all types of dimensions and stuff. So I'm like, wait, what? And he can attack, and he can do all this, and he can do all types of stuff. And even the fact that when he survived, no, I'm sorry, he destroyed a meteor. He freaking single-handedly destroyed a meteor that was twice the size of the planet. And he took that sucker out. And even took a freaking, like, I think, what was it, Valka? I think Valkala? Forgot, it's been a minute since I glanced. It's been a minute. From out of deep space, in order for D to kill her. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what? And I'm like, my boy, like what's going on here? And it's like, this dude, if you stack him up to like any and all other vampires throughout stories, comics, movies, he excels to the highest point of vampire, because it's like, again, he has the power to block out suns, right? He can like freeze people to absolute zero, summon the magma from the earth itself, and the fact is he can fight on planes that other people can't even stop. Like, you really can't. He fought, like I said before, thousands and millions upon vampires, and they didn't even do anything. And he was around before Earth's creation. Right around Earth's creation, he was just chilling. He was chilling. So it makes you wonder, like, does this dude actually come from a different reality? Did he create another Big Bang accelerator, or the universe itself? Right? Well, yeah, right. Like, did he create the universe itself? Things didn't probably work out. He destroyed it with the Big Bang accelerator, and then recreated the universe again, and then just chilled out for like millions upon years, and then 10,000 years later, that's when he created D and then his brother. Then he created thousands upon other vampires and stuff, because it's like, again, when you have a man who's insanely powerful, he's gonna do like some sort of experiments. He's gonna try to like create little groups, but the thing is, not that many people know of his existence. It was just that once when the vampires was created, that was it. Only some of the highest count, like the counts and other vampires who was on I guess you could say probably like a general status or lord status, probably knew, like, well, there is a vampire that we haven't seen before, but probably felt his presence looming around somewhere, and that's the sacred ancestor, due to the fact that his presence is darker than a black hole, and he can crush other people's psyches. So it makes sense that they can't really sense his presence, because his presence is darker than a black hole. So it's like, yeah, you try to detect somebody, but you can't feel their presence. Like, you can't feel nothing. Like, he's invisible. He's basically like invisible until he makes his presence known. It's him that makes his presence known, nobody else. And it's like, he does manipulate things from the shadows, though. He manipulates a lot of things from the shadows, because it's like, when you have an immortal vampire who's billions and millions upon years old, obviously he's going to be creating stuff. He's going to be moving things into action. So that's the whole point of what he's been doing and stuff. Like, he fought gods before. He fought like elder gods, and he defeated them. Then there was no problem, because again, he's an omniscient creature, with unlimited power when he has the Akashic records. And to other people who have tried in the past to defeat him, and it's failed. It's failed. He gives people power, right? He does give people power that's like close to D's level, because it's been shown through novels and stories that there've been a couple of times D almost got defeated. There's been a few times, but then there has been times when D just slaughtered and stuff, and you haven't seen any like trace that, well, half of these vampires that tried to hunt down the sacred ancestor, and some was about to succeed. No, the meteor plan, that shit failed. It was like, what you going to how you going to summon a meteor and have a meteor fall down, and he single-handedly reversed that shit and destroyed it. So it's like, okay, that was a good plan. Okay, yeah, marvelous. But again, it still wouldn't be enough. It still wouldn't be enough to actually fight a man who's on insane amounts of levels. Insane amounts of levels. And it's like a god vampire. A freaking god vampire with unlimited power that can do anything that he wants. But I know at the moment he kind of like disappeared. Like he kind of like disappeared and nobody knew where he's at the moment. It's been a while since I've like glanced. Like I said before, it's been a while since I glanced some of the Vampire Hunter D lore. It's been a while since I've glanced some of it, but bits and pieces I do remember from what he's done to like D and in the past and stuff, because he's the responsible one. Like he's the one who gave D like the arm. He's responsible for giving him the arm, and well, his hand. He's responsible for giving it to him. So it's like that shows a lot, because he gave his son like an arsenal to suck out souls, and if anything was to happen to D, that hand is able to like bring him back, like bring him back to life and stuff. So it's like, damn, like damn. And then D has like a twin brother, but he is not as strong as D, and I'm like, okay, like what you was doing, I sure you was with your previous wife, Mina LaFair. Well, yeah, I think Mina LaFair, he was with her and stuff, and kind of did his business, and then D was, and his brother was born. But no, I think his brother was I know both boys was experimentation, but they both, I believe, was born from the same mother, or he cloned. No, I think these twins, I think, was a clone. Yeah, I think he was a clone. But still the same thing. Still the same thing. But yeah, it's like, as I've been saying before, and I will keep saying, the lore from the 80s, when it came down to like movie shows, TVs, anime, all that stuff was the best. And if people was to have a look up, like, again, who would be like the most strongest like vampire and stuff, like I said, I have a list. Well, I haven't made the list, but I will make a list. But yeah, Sacred Ancestor, Dracula, he's number one. These two, Alucard's three, Gabe is fourth. But yeah, that's gonna be like the list that I'm going to make probably like later on in the future, to classify the levels of what all of these other vampires can do. Because like I said before, not that many people know too much about the Vampire Hunter D lore. Not that many people know about it, and not that many people know about a freaking god vampire with unlimited types of power and can do anything that he wants. Because even in stories, it's like certain events that was supposed to happen in the Vampire Hunter D lore somehow got changed and unaltered, due to some conveniences. It's like, if one thing, like I said, one thing was supposed to happen, D was changing stuff, and under not even the knowledge that he was doing it. Because like I said, like Sacred Ancestor was Romulus in him. He was Romulus in D's life, Like I said, he haven't known, like, his battles and experiences and stuff, but he's been keeping an eye on him. And, it's just, like I said, it's just the way it is. All the stuff that he's been putting up with him, like, D's fought Elder Gods. He's fought, like, people who's been on levels that, see, I wouldn't say powerful enough to destroy a planet, but they kind of been there, because his son survived the meteor. So if one son survived the meteor and the other one single-handedly destroyed one, that tells a lot about the Sacred Ancestor and about what all his creations can do. Because you had like stronger vampires who was able to survive actually being cut down and nothing, and they just like their cells being brought back together. You had other vampires, stronger vampires, who was able to like literally erase their presence, so that they would never be detected and stuff. But you have like, you can call them like advanced vampires, or advanced, well, I wouldn't say hybrids, but like advanced vampires and stuff, where they had like unique abilities which lower tier vampires don't really have, because they still have like the basic I guess you could say like the basic strains blood sucking, ghoul summoning, low tier stuff compared to like the counts, the dukes, who had like stupid amount of abilities where they was doing some crazy amount of things, but only the people who have access to the Akashic records and people that can't be erased from time. That's just on. That shit just takes the freaking cake. That shit just takes the freaking cake. If you have like a creature and a son that basically can't be erased from time or history and has all types of abilities to do whatever he wants. But yeah, if I'm just gonna end it right here. But if you like what you heard what you like, please subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff. And I'll catch you later.